so welcome to the first installation of the Quantum Leap Business Show. We have Souza here, who's going to show you how to free up time to focus on your business. Angela's going to show you how to build and manage a sales and marketing pipeline that consistently works for you around the clock. Angela is the CEO of the Women's Business Club, and without further ado, I'd like to hand it over to Angela. Welcome to the show, Angela.
Hi, good morning, everyone. It's great to be here, and I don't know what it's like where you are, but it's really nice and sunny here in Winchcombe. Can you all hear me okay? Right, so I have a nasty cough, and so I'm going to play you something that I did when I was feeling well, but I hope that's okay. I'll still be alive to take your questions and to support you through this. So here we go.
I wonder how many of you can relate to this. I'm not going to tell you what it means yet, but can you relate to the fact that you're running? Maybe you're running on a treadmill, maybe you're running to a well. You'll find out more about what that means in a bit. But you have the sense of running. I have that sense, you're running to get everything done in the day. Or if you live in a big city like London, I remember the days when I lived in London, you're running to catch the tube and you're running to get to a meeting on time. It's running and it's exhausting. And I don't know anyone who doesn't have or hasn't had that sense of just running and trying to get as much done in a day and then flopping into bed exhausted at night, only to wake up the next day and do it all over again. And many of us live like that. Many of us feel overwhelmed. We feel out of control because of the sense of running. I'm hoping that today I can help you slow down the pace a bit, but not slow down your productivity, not slow down your earnings, but slow down what you have to do so that you can slow down the pace and then think about what you want to do. So it depends where you're at in your business journey, but in many times I find in business, we start a business because we're passionate about something, and then we end up being so bogged down with the business of business that we don't even get to do the very thing we're passionate about. And that's when the running becomes exhausting, because you're just running for the sake of it. And I would love to help as many of you as possible get to the point where you're doing what you love in your business. You don't feel that sense of overwhelm and running. You're fully in control of your business and you're back to doing the things that you love doing. So let's talk about some possible problems. Are you running to the well? Have you reached capacity and you can't take on any more clients? Yes or no? Is that you? You can type a comment in the chat anytime. You can put your hand up if you identify, but is that you? Now, some of you would say, oh, I wish I had that problem. It's a growing pain in a growing business that you reach capacity and you can't take on any more clients. I had a lady that spoke to me not too long ago saying exactly this. She's like, I would love to work with you, Angela, but I actually can't cope with any more clients. And I could hear the frustration in her voice because she really wanted to take on more clients, but she just couldn't cope with anymore. Even though she did have team, she did have things in place, she just couldn't cope with anymore. And I instantly knew, okay, there's probably a system problem here, because if you have a good system in place, you can scale, you can grow. There's no limit. The system is built to cope with growth for as many clients as you want. So that's one of the first problems that could be solved by automating your business. So if that's you, think, okay, look out for things today that could help you get to that point where you can say, right, I'm ready to take on more clients. What about limited time? Are you struggling with not enough hours in the day? Do you have that sense of, I just can't get my work done? I'm overwhelmed all the time. I don't have enough hours in the day. I feel like I can never get on top of things and I just don't know what to do. I can't keep on going like this. I'm going to get burnt out. In fact, I spoke to somebody just yesterday who says, I can meet you anytime. I work 7 days a week. And I was like, oh, no, that's not living. Working 7 days a week, like you're going to reach burnout. I didn't say it, but I thought it, We have to have times of rest. We have to have moments to recharge. We have to be able to do things other than work. Even if we love our work, I love what I do. But our brains work in a particular way where it's almost like a muscle. Now, I'm not a neuroscientist, so I'm not an expert in this field, but my very limited understanding is, it's very much like if you're exercising a muscle. If you're just going to exercise your right arm bicep and you're just going to keep exercising it, it's going to get very strong, but your other muscles are going to be weak, and then your whole body's out of sync. In the same way with your brain, if you're continually working in one part of your brain, you are robbing yourself from the other parts getting strong. So if you are always in the rational side of your brain, you're always working, and you're not actually using your creative side, you're going to miss out the creativity in your business. So one of the first questions I ask people is, what's your hobby? What do you do for fun? And 9 times out of 10, the business women that I mentor don't understand. And it's really important in part of your business that you do have a variety of things that you do in the days, that you do with your life, so that you can develop a really well-balanced, brain, if it's not just for the pure enjoyment of life and doing a variety of things. So that's really important. So if you're in that place and you're limited with time and you're struggling with not hours in the day and you're overworking, you're working the 7 days a week scenario, then I'm hoping that today we can help you with some tips to get you out of that cycle and get you into a more balanced life. Right, now, what about, do you have a job, and if you stop the business stops? This is a trap. You start a business because you want freedom. You want to come out of that 9 to 5 working for a boss. So you set up your business, and then you suddenly realize you're still trapped in the 9 to 5, and yet it's worse now because you don't get to leave your job. You can't sleep at night because the problems are running around your head, and you now own a job, but it's much worse than when you were employed, and that's not why you set up a business. So let's see if we can help you solve that problem today as well. Are you tired all the time and you can't seem to get your energy back? Again, a common problem, because you're overworking, because you have got yourself to this state of burnout, you're now tired, and you're tired all the time, and it just won't go away. And that's really dangerous as well. That's a dangerous place to get to, and it could even be an indicator that you're approaching burnout. And so, having been there myself, I would say, please be careful. We need to put systems and processes in place that allow you to recharge and get your energy back, and then you can run again. You can run at the pace that you want to run. Have you lost your mojo and it's just work and not a passion project? Is this you, yes or no? This is again another common one that I come across. Many of us start our businesses and then we just go through the motions. We don't love it anymore. And this often happens after a period of success. It almost seems ironic, but you've succeeded, you've built this amazing business, and then you turn around and you hate the very business you've built. And I'm not making this up. I've experienced this, and I've heard this over and over again. And in some cases from extremely successful businesswomen. Turn around and you just stick your tongue out at the building. You're like, I hate what I built. And it's not that you hate what you've built. It's that you've just lost your passion for it. And again, if we can put some systems in place, we can help you get your passion back. And then we can also make sure that you don't ever get to that place again. And the solution for me for all of these problems are having good systems and processes in place so that you're managing a system. You're not running around like a hamster in a wheel. Do you have limited money and you can't seem to make any more? Again, another common problem. You've reached your earning capacity. You can't make any more money. And you can't make money because you're exchanging time for money, and there's only so many hours in the day. So is that you? Are you stuck? You've hit a ceiling and you don't know how to make more money. Now, there are several ways that you can instantly change that. And since I'm speaking to mostly women on this call, I would say that most of you are probably undercharging. I always find that women are the worst at this. Women tend to hold back on the prices, are overly generous on the discount, and don't have that hard, cold, you don't have to be hard and cold, but you don't have that real head for the numbers. You've got to manage the numbers. Now, it's not all about the numbers. And we can use our softer feminine skills in our businesses, but we also need to be shrewd. We need to make sure that we are building a business. This is not a hobby, you're building a business. And business, at the end of the day, the difference between a business and a hobby is the money. Hobbies you do, whether you earn money or not, but a business is about the profit. You've got to build a profitable business. So if you've hit a ceiling and you can't make any more money and your business can't grow, then let's do something about it. We can definitely help you with that. Now, some people are not making any more money by choice. And what I mean by that is they've achieved a certain place in their business journey, they're earning what they want to earn, and they would rather stay. They would rather say, this is where I want to be, and I'm content here. I don't want any more stress. I don't want to build the business. I've attained what I set out to, and I'm happy. And now that's a different story. But I'm guessing, because you're on this webinar, that that's not you. But there are people that get there. I met a lady maybe last year or so, and she said that I don't want to take on any more clients. It wasn't that she couldn't, it's that she didn't want to. She said, I've got the right amount of clients for me. I'm working part-time. I have time for my family. I'm in a good place. And so again, she wouldn't be on this webinar. She doesn't want to grow her business. She's where she wants to be. So that's a different story. And that's part of the question I would ask you, or part of the problem you could solve for yourself is, do you want to grow a business? Do you really want to grow a business? There's a price to pay for success. Do you really want to get to the next level of success and the next level of problems that come with it? Is that what you really want? Because if that's not what you really want, then let's work out where you really want to get to, what's comfortable, and maybe growing a business is actually what you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be striving to grow your business. You should be striving to put some boundaries around what you've already achieved and to say, right, I'm settling here, I'm staying, I'm not pushing forward. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think there's a lot of wisdom in knowing if you are meant to grow this massive, continually scaling, growing business and all the stresses that come with it, or if you're meant to just build this almost lifestyle business, this where you have a good work-life balance and you're content and you're happy. Make that decision as well, because I can certainly help you grow and scale, or I could certainly help you improve your ability to stay. But if you don't know which way you want to go, then we could put the wrong systems and processes in place for you. So let's see if we can help you get to that point where you can start increasing your profits. Now, overwhelm. I heard this just the other day. You feel constantly overwhelmed. You're in constant chaos. No matter what you do, you just live in a state of overwhelm. And just everything is always chaotic. And you'd love to get to a state of calm. In fact, the word boring actually appeals to you. I could just be bored. That was amazing. And again, we can help you by putting good systems and processes in place so that you can get to that point where you're feeling in control of your business and your life. Oh, another one. There's so many problems, so many pain points, aren't there? Are you stuck in repeat mode and constantly doing the same task over and over again? I was like this a few years ago. I found myself 4 a.m. trying to get on top of my never-ending flow of emails. And I stayed up late because I said, I'm going to stay up until my inbox is empty because I can't handle this anymore. And so I did that. And I found myself replying to emails saying a lot of the same thing. Either I was typing it out from scratch or I was copying and pasting from the previous email thinking, this can't be right. I'm sitting here, surely someone else could do this. Surely there's a better way. This doesn't make sense. I'd much rather be sleeping now. And so you might not find that with your emails, although I'm guessing most of you will say, actually, yes, I do a lot of repeat stuff. It could easily be a machine doing it because it's just the same stuff. Or other tasks that you find you're doing the same tasks repeatedly over and over again. And that's an indicator that automation should be put in place. Because as soon as you're doing anything repeatedly, we can automate it. And the beauty of automation is that if you've automated the stuff that you're doing repeatedly, you can then free up your time to focus on the things that need your personal attention, like dealing with clients or taking care of your team or whatever you can't automate. Those things are usually the people things, offering that personal touch. Some feedback, what people are saying about working with me about using the Stop Running to the Well systems. Okay, so what we can do, what I can do, and my team and I can do for you, is there are 3 ways we can help. Okay, first of all, you can buy the book, which Denise read out of. So the book is very much an introduction to all the principles and concepts, and gives you some practical tools. I think it's $9.99, Denise, or whatever it is. It's regular book price, available at all your local, wherever you buy books, or you can buy directly from us, and you can just work through the book at your own pace. Okay, so that's step 1, easy peasy, low financial investment. And then the second type of way that we can help you is the DIY. So we've got some structured courses and downloads and templates that you can sign up to the course, and you can work through it yourself at your own pace, and you can do it yourself. And that's absolutely fine if you want to give that a go first. The investment is £597 for the whole course and all the downloads. So it's a 4-part course, and it gives you templates and downloads. I'm going to pop something in the chat for you today. Okay, if you, just for those on this webinar, and this is a once-off webinar, I'm not repeating it again, I'm just doing this to launch the book and introduce things. If you go to the website, Stop Running to the Well, I have scratched out the $597 and given you a special price for webinar viewers only. So once I've heard from most of you, and you've either signed up or declined, that price on the website will then go back to the full $597. So I'm really hoping that for those of you that feel like you would like to have a reasonable investment, it's not a lot of money, and step-by-step dummies guides with me waffling on a video plus corresponding worksheets and Excel spreadsheets, etc., then that's what I'd like to make available for you today. So this is our special offer. Now, I don't want to give it away at this price. I don't want to, but I'm doing it today. So we will send you an email follow-up as well. You can hop on the website now and grab it up until the end of this week. But we haven't promoted this publicly. I'm just telling you, those of you who are on this webinar today. So that's that. The third way we can help you is the done for you. And this means that my team and I will come in, we'll do a full assessment of your business. We'll take a look at what running to the well activity you or your team are doing. We will put some systems and procedures in place for you. And then we will create a long-term plan where we can outsource those areas to our team of experts, and they can work for you for as long as you want to. So this is very much something that will be custom, and it would work according to your budget. So if you have X amount of budget, we will build something around that. If you wanted us to build the system and then you manage the system, that's fine. Or we build the system and we use our team of experts to maintain the system for you on a monthly basis. So these are the options. This is what Stop Running to the Well can do for you and your business. So even if you want to start with buy the book and you feel, I need a bit more help, you do the DIY course. If you feel, don't like this, then get in touch and we'll offer the done for you. Okay, so that's a little bit about what we can offer. I just wanted to get that out the way. So the rest of the time, we can just focus on you and your business, and you're not worried about when's the big upsell coming? When is she going to try to sell me stuff and take all my money? Don't worry, I'm not going to do that. I'm just giving you the best value I can today. So let's move on. So there we go. That's what you'll find on the website. If you go to stoprunningtothewell.com, scroll down about halfway down the page and you'll see this option, click sign up. As long as that price is on the website, it's available to you. And then we'll take it off and then we'll make this website available to the general public at the full price for the course. Done. Right. Now let's see how much value we can get for you today. How do you get started? This is how you get started. And this is the part most people don't get past because it is boring, it's tedious, but also it's an eye-opener. If all you do is this one step, it will already change your working habits. Get a notebook and pen, get a spreadsheet, get whatever it is that you like to take notes on. Record your hourly activity. And if you have a team, ask them to do the same. They'll hate you, I promise, guaranteed. They'll accuse you of micromanaging. It's too bad. If you want to build a system, you have to take stock. Where are we at? So every hour, on the hour, Just take note, what have you done in that past hour? I did this years ago. I actually did it every 15 minutes at first. And after, I didn't even get past day one because it was such an eye-opener to how poorly I was using my time. I felt embarrassed, and I was able to, purely from one day of doing this, I was able to change the way I did things. I was able to change a lot of things purely from one day of doing this. Now, I recommend you and your team do this for a week or two, but even if it's a couple of days, it will help vastly. If we work with you, if you do the done for you option, we will ask you to do this because I cannot do anything if I don't have this information. So what have you done in the last hour? The first thing that this showed me was that I was task hopping. I was jumping between tasks, and I still struggle to stop myself from doing that. I'm guilty as charged, but I was task hopping. So, you know, you have multiple tabs open, you check your email, you check your social media, you have a Zoom call, while you're in a Zoom call, I hope nobody's doing this now. While you're on a Zoom call, you're checking your email, you're on your phone, you're task hopping, you're in a spreadsheet, you're on a Word doc, you're everywhere. Okay. You cannot be productive whilst task hopping. You need to do one task. You need to fully engage your brain. You need to fully be present in that task, and you need to complete that task. And there's a bunch of reasons why, everything ranging from the way the brain works and not getting all those neurons misfiring, all the way through to the fact that a happy hormone is released when you tick task done. So there's a whole bunch of reasons why, and it will massively increase your productivity. So the first thing you need to do is identify if you're task hopping. And I guess most people today would say, yes, that's me, I'm task hopping. Stop that. Record your hourly activity. So the first thing it showed me was I was task hopping. I wasn't able to record my hourly activity because I'd have to write a whole A4 page of what I was doing in the hour, and that wasn't good use of my time. So then what I did was I was like, right, okay, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do one task per hour so that I only have to write one thing down per hour. So social media, get on, do my social media, 1 hour's up, good, tick, move on, next task, check my emails, do all my emails. Now, as you and I both know, checking emails is not a simple task. It's not a case of checking your emails, job done. It's a case of one email will generate multiple tasks. And those tasks will generate the need for multiple emails. And you've just gone down a rabbit hole. And so it's not such a simple thing. So what I tend to do is I would group my emails that can have an instant response. Anything I can reply to and delete, job done, that would be that hour's activity. So go through all my emails, do the quick ones, get them out the inbox. Leave the emails that I know will generate new activities. And then I have folders for those emails. So I group them by activity type. So I do a lot of writing for magazines and blogs and books and whatnot. And I'm always needing to send writing off, and there's always deadlines. So I have a folder for writing to be sent. And every time somebody emails me saying, oh, I need this article by this date, I pop it in that folder. So then I'd sit down and have my hour of writing and say, right, get your head in the game, switch off everything, write, get these articles done, send them, job done, tick. So can you already see, I mean, I just told you one thing, record your hourly activity. Can you already see how by simply becoming in control of your time, by being aware of how you're spending your time, you already are becoming more productive? Now imagine if you do that and you get your team to do it. But explain why. Because they will give you dagger eyes. I've been through this. You have to be tough to ask your team to do it, but explain why and explain that you'll be doing it too. Because you want to get your company running as efficiently as possible. So we have to understand where you're at first before we can build a pipeline. So I could go on for ages about this, but also another thing that the hourly activity showed me was how much time I was giving away for free. I was going for coffee meetings. I would go to a coffee meeting. They requested a coffee meeting. I'd be like, okay, I'll meet you at the coffee shop. They would pick my brain and ask for advice or whatever. My valuable advice, because they didn't know it and I did, it was valuable. And then I would end up paying for the coffee because I'm generous by nature and I always offer. And I wish I could not offer, but I always offer and they always accept. I've had 2 occasions where one person paid for the coffee, and more recently, somebody paid for the whole meal and I needed to fill up my chair. That never happened to me before. Okay, but anyway, What this showed me by recording my hourly activity was the time wasted in giving away my time and the money I was spending on giving away my time. And suddenly I was like, wow, imagine if I eliminated all of that nonsense and focused on my work and actually had fee earning activity in those hours instead. Wow, it was a game changer. And so that doesn't mean I don't meet people for coffee, but very rarely I have to want to. And it doesn't mean I don't give away my advice for free, but very rarely I don't want to. It's taken me years to learn what I've learned, and I deserve to be paid for my expertise. And so do you. How many of us, and women again, women, this is a typical women problem. We are so kind and generous, which is lovely, but in business, we have to have a balance. So anyway, I'm going to take up the whole hour talking about this. Let me give you another point. So find patterns and repetitions. So you record your hourly activity, you ask your team to do the same, and then you find the patterns and the repetitions. These are the things that we will automate. Once we've identified the patterns and repetitions, we can now start looking at the system that we need to build. What can we automate to maximize your time, maximize your money, make you more efficient? Then we group it into sections. So like the example I gave, you could have a folder in your inbox that's really useful. You could have a folder on your computer where you put things into different folders. You group it into sections, and the sections will be relevant to your business, but all business will have sales, admin, marketing, finance, etc., etc. So definitely those. And the beauty of it is, once you have a really full folder in a particular area, you can identify that that folder is taking up a lot of your time. Then you have to ask yourself, are you the only person that can do that? So if I'm speaking to business leaders now, you are the top dog in your business, then the question I'd ask you is, are you the only person who can do that task? And you have to be honest. Are you the only one that can do it? Or can it be delegated? Or can you outsource to an expert in that field? Question number one. Question number two, if you're employed, or if you're not the top dog in the business, but you're part of the business, you can still answer that question. But you might not be able to give it away if it's your job to do so. So that's a different story, but we can still look at systemizing it and seeing how you can do things better. Once you realize this, I have my desktop, I put this on my desktop, I made an image and put it on my desktop. Do I have to do this? Can only I do it? I don't have my desktop in front of me, but anyway, I have three things, decision-making factors. And the third one ends up, only I can do it, then do it. So if it can be delegated or if it can be deleted, I shouldn't be doing it. My time is far too valuable for that, and so is yours. The beauty of this is, it depends where you're at again in your business journey. But say, for example, your admin folder was just bursting at the seams and you realized that's where a lot of your time and money is going, you could then decide, should I get a VA? A VA is a very low risk way of starting to build your team, and they are experts in their field. If you're struggling with admin and you hate admin, it's just not your thing, it will take you so much longer to do it. You'll be less effective and you won't do a very good job, not as good a job as somebody who loves admin. So is admin wearing you down, wasting your time, sapping your energy? If so, why don't you pay somebody who loves admin? They'll work 10 times faster, they'll do a better job, and you'll be free from admin. Now, everybody I'm speaking to today either will love or hate admin. I doubt there's somebody that's totally in the middle. You either love it. Generally, most people either love it or hate it. If you love it, great. Even if you love it, do you have to do it? Because I've had to let go of some things that I love in the business. I'm like, oh no, I want to do that, but it's not only I that can do that. I have to pass it on to somebody else. And then if you hate it, then I must ask, why are you doing it? You know, why are you forcing yourself to do something you hate? No matter what your budget, you can start outsourcing, no matter what. If you're a teeny tiny startup business and you can only afford £15 and you can get a VA once a month for 1 hour, I mean, that's ridiculous. It's probably a bit ridiculous, maybe £30, okay, or maybe £90 or whatever. I'm sure you can find the money together, to pull the money together and get somebody else to manage that. You will feel a massive weight lift. But guess what? With those hours and hours that you've saved, for example, if you employ a VA for 4 hours a month, right? I pretty sure that you would take maybe 8 hours to do that work. The VA will do it in 4 because she loves it and she's an expert in that field. Maybe, just guessing, right? For those 8 hours that you've paid, maybe £15 an hour for a VA, I'm averaging here, they range between £10 an hour all the way up to £45, £50 an hour. I'm averaging here. How much is your hour worth? And how much money could you make in those hours that you've outsourced something that you hate doing? And so often, especially smaller businesses, very reluctant for the commitment. The beauty of a VA as well is that you can just, what I did was I said, okay, X number of hours per month. So I was in control of the budget. I didn't have to get a big bill that frightened me at the end of the month. And that's how I started building my team. Now my questions, and maybe some of you are in this position, now my questions are bigger. Which staff member do I employ next? And so now it's a bigger commitment. But I started at, a couple of hours a week VA, because that's what I felt confident to do. That was less of a risk and less scary for me. But now I'm thinking, do I employ a salesperson next, or do I employ a finance person next? And it's a different ballgame. But it boils down to the same thing. Once you've grouped things into sections, you can quickly identify who you need next on your team. Okay. Now this is where we start writing the system. Write a flow for each section. So either you can read the book, or you could get some of our free downloads and you can do this yourself, or this is where we would come in and we would help you. We start writing a flow. So what is the flow? What is your sales process? What's your admin process? What's your invoicing process? What's your marketing process? We start writing the processes. We start writing the flows. Because again, we can look at where we can automate the flow and where you have to have a person involved. And this is where we really get down to the exciting stuff. And that's when we start researching various automation tools. Okay, so that's how we would start. These are the 5 things you would get started. You would either start this on yourself, or we would come in and we would support you with this, or you could do it in the book. The book goes through this sort of thing as well. Now, here are my favorite automation tools. So once we get to automation tools, I want to share some of my favorites, but there are far too many to share with you today out there. It's just amazing what's out there. And also, again, we can work with any budget, because you get things from free all the way up to flipping expensive and everything in between. So the CRM that we use, now you all need a CRM, you all need a database, customer relationship management tool, whatever they're called. What you need is a place that can, number one, capture your customer information, and number 2, produce some sort of automation with that information. If you have a good CRM, you can pretty much automate every area of your business through the CRM. So we use Infusionsoft Keep because it can do a lot. A suitable alternative would be MailChimp or HubSpot. I don't know all of them, but there's quite a lot. But on a smaller budget, you could start with one of those. They have a degree of automation, but they can't do what Infusionsoft Keep can do. And then if you have a bigger business and Infusionsoft is too small for you, you might want to use Salesforce or Microsoft Dynamics. Those are a lot more pricey, but they can handle high volume of data. So we use that. So everything we do goes into Keep. One way or another, it goes into Keep, and you have a record on Keep. And then from there, we can then automatically send invoices, automatically send emails, automatically notify you of something, automatically wish you a happy birthday. Like, we can do so much from there. And then the thing that we use next is Zapier. I'm a raving fan of Zapier. I love Zapier. There's so much you can do with this little piece of tech. It's incredible. So Zapier will take information from one platform and connect it to another platform. And way back in the day, we were running events at Women's Business Club. Women's Business Club run monthly networking events. We run conferences. We do webinars such as these. We do loads. And the booking platform we use is Eventbrite. As you know, you booked in on it. And we use that for everything. And back in the day, we were taking your contact details out of Eventbrite manually, and typing them into our CRM, MailChimp, or whatever it was. Then we got clever and we exported your contact details and popped them into the CRM. Then we got Zapier, and it was a game changer. Suddenly, Zapier did it for us. Zapier is like having another staff member. Literally, Zapier will do what a full-time staff member would do for us in our business, our size business at the moment. That's how powerful it is. So don't worry, nobody lost their job in the process. We just gave them different work. But Zapier will do so much automatically that most businesses do manually, repeatedly the same tasks. And so I could definitely help you with programming Zapier. It's a powerful piece of tech. Another piece of tech that I particularly enjoy is ManyChat. Now, there are alternatives to all of these out there. These are my favorites, but there are loads of other things that do the similar job. But I recommend these ones, and I certainly enjoy these ones most. So ManyChat, if you go into our website, you'll see a little chat button. If you comment on one of our posts on Facebook or Instagram, you'll get a message into your, a DM into your inbox. And ManyChat can take one of my businesses. This is the best example. One of my businesses used ManyChat, and this is what happened. Somebody went onto our website, clicked the chat button, had a conversation with the chatbot, asked them all the questions because we programmed the chatbot to be able to respond to frequently asked questions. Went through all of the questions. The customer was satisfied with the answers to all the questions. She clicked on the buy button. She paid. Now this is high-end products that we're selling. So it's £1,500 sale. It's not like 2p. It's, you know, it's a good amount of money. Goes all the way through to the sales process, clicks pay, pays the deposit, and we get a notification. What ManyChat did was it took care of the client from beginning to end. She was fully satisfied. If she had wanted to speak to us in person, there was always the option to do so. Absolutely, we're not eliminating the personal touch, but she was satisfied. She got all the answers. She went to the payment page. She made the payment. So basically, job done from cold lead all the way through to high ticket sale. And we woke up in the morning and job was done. Amazing. That's what ManyChat, and that's what automation can do. I have dealt with chatbots in the past as a customer on other websites, and I've been perfectly satisfied if they're set up well. If they can answer my questions instantly, rather than me waiting in one of those queues, you know, you're number 5 on the list. You're number 5 on the list. You know the ones I'm talking about? If the chatbot can answer my question instantly, rather than keep me queuing to speak to a real person, I'm perfectly content with the chatbot. And so ManyChat's powerful, and there's so much it can do. Definitely can't go into all of that today. But if you did use one of our Stop Running to the Well automation tools, we could definitely program a chatbot for you, and we could get it working for you. So you could go to bed at night and wake up in the morning and your business has grown. Buffer is a social media scheduler. There are so many out there that you can use, but Buffer is very easy to use, very user-friendly. There's Later, there's Hootsuite, there's Tweet. I mean, there's so many out there. So the bottom line is get a scheduler for your social media. Get your social media scheduled so that you are on top of your social media. All you have to do is take care of the comments and engage with people. You don't have to continually be thinking up, what do I post? What do I do? You know, there's so much that you can just let go of if you are in control of your social media. And Calendly, I am again a raving fan of Calendly. Calendly has just saved my life. I tell you, Calendly doesn't only take your appointments. It doesn't only, so you'll see a lot of people use it now on the email footer. If you want to book appointments with me, click here. It doesn't just book appointments. Calendly has automation. It has workflows. It can create the Zoom links. It can ask questions. It can survey people before you've even had the appointment. It can send out information people. I mean, Calendly, it can do so much before you've even had the meeting, and follow up after the meeting, and take payment, and. So I would recommend every business owner uses Calendly or some form of meeting app that has automation and workflows in it. It's not just booking meetings, it's so much more. And also I've become, if you go onto my Calendly, my personal Calendly, Calendly .com/Angela de Souza, you'll see it's brutal. And I almost took it down. I thought it was too brutal, but my husband saw it and he says, this is genius. You should teach on this. This is brilliant. It is brutal, but I value my time and I don't have a lot of free time. So if you book an appointment with me, if it's the first time, it needs to be 15 minutes and we can achieve a lot in 15 minutes. And because you know you've got 15 minutes, you get down to business. And I usually find most of my calls, I can get to the point and get results within 15 minutes. And so I seldom take calls longer than 15 minutes. I do have a 30-minute call option, but that will be pre-arranged. And so once we've had the 15-minute call, I'll invite you to book a 30-minute call so that we can get down to nitty-gritty if we need to get down to whatever. And then I have an hour call that's only available for my team. So that's anybody on my team that they can have an hour of my time. You know, they're working with me, they're working for me, and I want to give them what they need, even if it's a natter. That's where I will allow the fluff, you know, okay, how are your children? How are my children? How's the weather? You know, it's okay. I'm investing in my team. There's room there. We need to have a natter sometimes. Now, some people disagree. I had a call the other day with a guy. It was an hour. I booked in his system, not in mine. Otherwise, it would never have happened. And he spent 50 minutes talking about his life in another country and so much waffle. And then 5 minutes before the end of the call, he was like, oh, I've got another call. And then we didn't actually get down to what we had to speak about. And he said to me, oh, this is so important. This is where we bond and build rapport. But to be honest, I can't do that on every call, and neither can you. You've got to pick who you're going to give your time to, who you want to bond with, and the rest you just have to get down to business. Speaking of time, I have to be mindful of our time together. Then we have Google Forms. Any Google product I find is very efficient, very user-friendly, and integrates with most of these other platforms that I've mentioned. I use Google Forms, Google Spreadsheets, Google Docs, Google Slides for everything because it is so easy to set up automation. It's so easy to get your business running really, really streamlined. And then finally, WordPress. So WordPress is brilliant for your website. It's easy for you to manage yourself. You don't need an expert. It has a ton of plugins and it can do an awful lot. Now, we are actually moving away from WordPress as a company because we need even more than what WordPress can offer. So we have a senior developer that's recently joined our team who is developing some phenomenal tech for our company. So it's way beyond WordPress. But WordPress, I would recommend, is a brilliant start for any business. Up to a big business, you can use WordPress. A lot of big businesses use WordPress. And again, it can integrate, it can sync with all these other automation tools. So those are my favorites, but stop running to the well, hop onto the website, have a look around, and definitely if you want to book a call with me and progress this, if you want to use one of the options that we offer to help you with your business, I'd absolutely be delighted to help you as best I can.
Right, guys, do we have time for questions? I'm not sure how much time I have, but Kerry asked if, oh wait, let me stop sharing my screen as well. So Kerry asked if I use any project management systems and task management systems, and I actually don't, but I was wondering if anybody else here does and can recommend one. Does anybody do any sort of project management or task management systems?
I use Trello.
Trello is great. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, it's really good for getting people focused, and then it's really good for a good place just to archive all of your important information, because you know a lot of people, you don't look at your domain registration information all the time. It's only once a year, and it's good to have it in a safe place. So yeah, I use Trello for project management and for storing lots of client data.
Yeah.
Asana is great also.
Yes, I was just going to say Asana. Monday, I had somebody who used Monday. That's also one of a great task management. So there are tools out there, and I think it's really good if you do want to do that, to just maybe do some research on the internet and ask around, you know, see what people are using and what they like. To be honest, for me, I was using, Trello, Asana, I was using all of them, and I just found it too frustrating. So for me, I mean, it has to work for you, but it didn't work for me. But some of my teams still use it. But Slack is a game changer for us. All of our staff communications, internal communications, we do through Slack. We don't even use email because it's just so unreliable. And with Slack, we can really be there live while we're working. So that's a great tool. Are there any other questions? No?
Yeah, I use Slack as well. I found using I've used loads of them, Active Collab and Asana, and you're right, some of them you find the right one that works for you.
Yeah. And do you have the Slack Pro version or just the free version?
I have the free version.
Oh yeah, me too. I was hoping to find out the benefits of the Pro version, other than storage space. I have a question here. Which one of these would you say better for solo business? So what is that? Which one of the management tools? I think they all have a free version. They're all quite user-friendly. You just have to play around and see what's right for you. Also a CRM which is not too expensive or free. So you guys will have to correct me if I'm wrong, but last time I found MailChimp they had free up to 2,000 contacts. That's a great way to start. MailChimp has automation. You can use it as a CRM, if you've got a small business. We use Infusionsoft, as I mentioned. Sorry, guys. And that can start, I think the app is around £99 upwards, and then you can go as expensive as you want. Does anybody else have any CRMs you can recommend? I know that there's Zoho and HubSpot is very popular.
We use HubSpot. We integrate it with quite a few systems. It's really malleable and useful, and it's really good for quite a few different types of businesses because you can calibrate it, however you need. So I'd say HubSpot is my chosen CRM.
Yeah, I've seen it used a lot and have used it as a client, and it seems to be really good. Any other questions? I think I've used up my time. So I just want to see if there's anything else. If you want to connect on LinkedIn, I pop my LinkedIn in the in the chat, so we can always pick up there and have a chat if you want to. But thank you so much for having me, guys, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Thanks, Angela.
Thank you, Angela. I just wanted to say for all the BBX clients,
Thank you, Angela.
if you're looking for a CRM, we do have InTouch CRM, so they're worth checking out and looking for through BBX. But yeah, thank you, Angela.
For everyone that attended, this is being recorded and will be uploaded onto our YouTube for catch up. At 10 AM, we do have Paul Waite with R&D credits. So if you guys want to stay on, then
Jordan, just put your mic down. It's up by your ear. There we go.
Oh, apologies. Thanks, Angela, and thanks to everyone that attended. This is being recorded and will be uploaded to our YouTube for catch up. At 10 AM, we have an interview playing from Paul Waite, who will be discussing R&D credits. So if you guys wanted to stay on for that, feel free to, or you can pop over to Go24, where there will be networking sessions.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys.